everyone, how are you? I got kicked out. We had a meditation earlier and then Zoom decided to kick me out, all my laptop, all my internet. But anyway, we're back. It's like the hero's journey with the internet at the moment in my house. So who's looking forward to listening to Ivonne today? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thanks, Warren. Warren said he doesn't like me, but that's all right. I like me. So how's everyone's week been? Anyone got to share what's happening with their dark night of the soul? How's the journey going for you? Anyone game enough to take the mic? Let's create some momentum, some energy here, everyone.
Hi, Grace.
Hey, Christine.
Interesting question, really. It's such an ongoing thing, and it feels to me like it's up and down, up and down, up and down. I suppose it's you get to another level, and then you sort of go down and come up, and go down and come up. And I've had a massive week, to say the least, and I've been extremely tired. But I slept well last night, and I did a breathing session this morning, and so that's really picked me up. And as you know, I've got something in my eye, and it seems to have really settled down. So I think it's just a matter of being aware all the time. That's a big thing, isn't it? Being aware. For here and there.
So what would be your biggest key, Christine, in shifting, in moving and diving into the dark night of the soul?
The biggest key?
We talk about it, but how do you actually do it? What's your key for you diving into it?
There's two things I think are really important. One is that I really want to do it. I really, really want to get to that place where I can resolve stuff. And the other thing is, I know that there's nothing that's hidden. And so you're not really exposing it to anyone else, you're just exposing it to yourself. And it feels like you're exposing it to everyone else, but the reality is that other people, God, all the beings, whether they be on the dark side or the light side, they know anyway. So really, it's just your own self and your ego. And as you know, I'm constantly battling my ego. But every now and then, I think the big thing is the assistance from those around me who help and guide me and hold space for me and all that. That actually allows me to do that. But it's not easy, because sometimes you think, I don't know this. And then you think, oh, well, I have to know it. And you say letting go, and how do you let go? Seems to just happen if you allow yourself to stop thinking. That's probably it. Yeah.
Well, all reason, all logic, all thoughts go, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just feeling, sensations and all that. So yeah, so what would be your biggest learning, Christine, in jumping in this river
Oh. I think it really is having faith. And sometimes I feel really tested. But then I get reminders. And so and then I very much recognise a lot of synchronicities.
Mm.
And that's the reminders of having the faith. You know, for an example, this is just an example that happened for me yesterday and today. I had people come to stay, relations, and I've had this really, really big work that I've been doing this week, and I'm exhausted. And we had our tree cut down, so there's a whole pile of stuff to shift. And I thought, how will I do this? You know, physical work, I'm exhausted and all the rest of it. And they've bogged in and helped. It's been amazing. You know, I haven't had to do, only shifted a couple of loads of wood. That's it. And there's massive amounts of work to do. They're still there working this morning.
And you were able to rest.
Yep. Yeah.
Wonderful manifestation, Christine.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. I'm just blown away by it, really.
Yeah.
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 And so it seems so simple, but if you recognise those sorts of things, that's what reminds me about having faith.
Mm. Yeah, well, we are dealing with the invisible, aren't we? Not the visible.
Yeah. When it manifests and you don't even realise you've asked for it. Somewhere it says in the scriptures about it that God knows what you need before you even ask. I don't know where that is, or I don't know. And it's so true.
It is true, isn't it? Thanks, Christine. Anyone else? Anyone else going through it? How's it going for you?
Yeah, I'll share, Grace.
Wonderful.
So I actually identified a lot with what Christine said there, the synchronicities. I probably, my perspective though, it is, probably a constant thing of disappointment in a way, because and frustration in that you think, oh, you've cleared something and you're feeling really good, and then all of a sudden something else happens, and you go, oh, fuck, not that. And then it's kind of, so it's this kind of roller coaster of peaks and troughs, as, I don't know if you're putting it in a graph sense, like a continually rising graph, but in the rising graph there are these peaks and troughs, and I think it's dealing with those frustrations of, oh, I thought I'd dealt with that, I thought I'd looked at that, I thought I'd shine light on that, and it's just that, it's that continual wave almost. That is probably, I think, one of the more challenging things. I think on the flip side of that, though, to bring balance back to that, it's kind of good to just get into some stillness and look back and see how far you have come in amongst all of those peaks and troughs over weeks, months, years in some cases. But yeah, it's a frustrating journey. But I think Christine touched on it. You kind of, once you get in that river, you kind of can't get out, or you don't want to get out, or as much as you want to get out, you can't get out.
So you're able to surface from the tides, Steve?
For a breath of air occasionally, yeah. And swim back down, yeah.
All you can do really is float, isn't it? I love what Christine shared about, if you're going to fall in a fast stream, the best thing to do is just float. Don't let you put your feet down, so you get, just in case you get caught and drown.
Yeah.
That's good. Thanks, Steve. Well, we've got Ivonne arriving. Hello, Ivonne. Good to see you here.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can.
Loud and clear.
Okay. I don't know if you can see me. My camera says it needs permission to be turned on. I haven't gotten that.
Oh, you can turn it on, Yvonne.
I put it on as a co-host. Okay, I've asked you to start video.
Okay, now it says start my video.
Let's see.
So hopefully, hello everyone.
Hey,
Hopefully you can see me, hear me.
We
Def-
can.
Definitely. This is so, we're so looking forward to this.
Nice. Such an honor to be here. Hopefully everybody has good audio.
Oh, very good. Yes. Can everyone hear Ivonne really well?
Yes.
I'll wear my glasses because now I need them.
Okay, I'm
You
just
look-
getting up.
You look great, Yvonne.
Oh, thank you, love. Just came back from a whole day on the monastery.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And
So
what happened to it?
Just silence. So now I'm going to speak. So I'll share when you tell me, Warren. So hi everybody. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. I don't even know what timelines are everybody in. What time is it over there, Warren and Grace?
Oh, it's depends on where we are. It's 10:30 where we are in Perth. It's some people in America. We've got Lexi from Virginia. We've got Sheldon from California, or sorry, Canada.
Oh, I see the chat. Oh.
From Canada, I mean. We've got we've got a whole range of people. We've got people in Queensland. There's probably a few more who'll join shortly as well. So there's plenty here. And you're from Vegas, Ivonne.
Yes, this is where I'm at right now, and this is where the monastery is. Amazing.
Oh, wow, we've got 12 people on right now.
So you tell me when you want to begin and how do we start?
Oh, look, I've got codes and everything, but my feeling is that what I was saying, Ivonne, is was that what we might do is start with the Lord's Prayer, and then just normally that's what we do, using the little slide you gave us, and then really my sense is just to continue on with the theme we've been talking about, the dark night of the soul, the hero's journey, all the stuff you're doing. In a way, I'll let you start sharing what you feel led to share, and then as you run out of stuff, and I'll just kind of be like your interviewer. I'll just be here and keep talking and raise questions or raise comments or senses. I mean, how does that work for you?
Perfect. We'll go with the flow.
Wonderful. So who would like to start? Grace, would you like to start with the Lord's Prayer so you can begin the activation?
Sure. Can you bring it up for me?
Yep, I'll quickly share my screen, and then I'm going to bring it back to the lovely camera so people can see Yvonne's face and all of our faces. So
Yvonne's gorgeous.
Absolutely. We have to let people see our camera more today. So here we are. Okay.
Okay. Thou from whom the breath of life comes, who fills all realms of sound, light, and vibration. May your light be experienced in my utmost holiest. Your heavenly domain approaches. Let your will come true in the universe, all that vibrates, just as on earth it is material and death. Give us wisdom, understanding, assistance for our daily need. Detach the fetters of faults that bind us, karma, like we let go the guilt of others. Let us not be lost in superficial things, materialism, common temptations, but let us be freed from that what keeps us from our true purpose. From you comes the all-working will, the lively strength to act, the song that beautifies all and renews itself from age to age. Amen. Sealed in trust, faith, and truth, I confirm with my entire being.
Thank you, Grace. Wonderful. So, we're very honoured to have you, and I feel a strong sense of Yeshua, Lahiri Mahasai, and the Holy Spirit, and so many.
And I just want to tell you that my lights went off. I just have my little light on just right now as Grace was praying. So hopefully I'll be able to share with you all.
That's because it's divine light, so it's great.
Oh my goodness. anyways, I'm super honored to be here. So I saw some highs over there. So hi, Christine. So I have the hero's journey here, and depending on what code you're going to use, I can walk people through that activation if so you choose. I heard someone, I don't know who was sharing when I just joined in, that it's been like a tough, I felt in his voice, I don't know who was speaking, but I felt something called the divine ordeal, which I think right now is what humanity is going through. A divine ordeal in all areas of experience, politics, finances, spirituality, mindset. Every single area is going through an ordeal because it's being pushed in the womb of creation as a contraction to expand. It's a call to action for the soul to birth into its next evolutionary step. So I was listening, I don't know who was sharing, but his voice, his transmission was letting me know of this divine ordeal and the incredible army of God, army of light and warriors like you all are, that it's going to take this next crusade, this heroic journey into the next level of ascension and evolution for Earth.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that was Steve who was sharing before. So yeah, in terms of the codes, Ivonne, well, you've done a whole lot for us. Like any particular code that jumps out for you, like we've got the Mary Magdalene Grail code. That's the one.
That one.
Yeah, same here. That's what I feel too, the Grail code.
Yes.
Do you want me to, would you like me to share? Do you want me to put up like the hero's journey picture you sent me at all, Ivonne, or just talk on the camera? What do you feel?
Well, you could put the code. I have the hero's journey thing. Unless if I can walk, maybe we can put it. Can we put it both together or no?
Let me give it a shot. I can definitely get the code up. So let me just start with the code. Yeah, I reckon we probably could do it. Let me just get the code up. Okay, so I've got the Grail code. Okay, now let me find.
By the way, Yvonne, we're loving the codes.
Oh, I'm so glad.
One code triggered so much in all of us. The other morning we were doing some intercession, and it triggered a lot internally.
Well, I'm so glad because, one of the things I'd like to share in your group, especially all of you that you are so advanced in quantum healings and quantum physics of all of that, is that I receive the codes, I go into meditation, I create them, but I rarely activate them. I'm like the recipient of that art. I created it. This is really a journey, an interdependent journey where we, where we support one another. I create, it's like an artist. They create beautiful art, but if someone doesn't purchase their art or doesn't collect it, the art is not complete. So I am so grateful that you all activate the codes and that you know how to use these quantumly and energetically, because for me, I just get so high in receiving them, but the power is in what you all are doing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, it's certainly activating, that's for sure. So we really, really appreciate your gift and your genius, and really open to it.
Well, is everybody ready?
Can you see the codes, Ivonne? I've managed to get.
I'm watching it, and I'm watching it, but see if everybody else can see it.
Can everyone else
I can see it, and I can see the hero's journey slide too.
Good. Yep.
So first, before we go through the hero's journey, which is what humanity is going through, but in another level, the hero's journey, it's something that was pinpointed very well by Carl Jung and also Joseph Campbell. I had the opportunity to study at the School of Joseph Campbell in Santa Barbara, California. I lived many years in a place called Montecito, and up the hill where I used to live, there were two places that I used to go often. In my own dark night of the souls, or in my own light moments of my soul, which was the Vedanta temple, where Ramana Maharishi, Swami Vivekananda left all of these incredible school of non-duality, and neighbors to them, it was the school of Joseph Campbell, where he used to live and where he used to teach. So I was able to study in both places at the same time, one be initiated in that in the Ramakrishna kind of culture and philosophy, and another one to study the hero's journey in the school of Joseph Campbell. And one of the things that they say is that humanity will always be having hero's journey, but it's coded. It's a myth. It's just a metaphor, and it's a metaphor and kind of a parable of the journey of our individual soul, our individuated source as consciousness. And I remember very well that they said, I didn't understand back then, but now after 2020 and all what is going on, I understood, is that the hero's journey, it was just the beginning of the heroic journey of God. The hero's journey was just the beginning of the heroic journey of God, of the oneness, of source, of the reintegration of consciousness in oneness. And so I'm sure this community understands is that I don't have, usually when I speak in groups, I got to, you know, translate my own wording, but I'm sure, you know, I feel the energy of this group. I feel the power of all of you together. And I'm actually pretty humbled by it. So, but I'm sure everybody's understanding this, that the hero's journey that us as individuals have been going through, or as a humanity, which has been through pain, through all of the different archetypes that makes us, our identity as human, it's just a 1% of what is about to occur and unfold in humanity. Because from the hero's journey, then there's God's journey, and the God's journey is a truly heroic one inside all of us. So right now, so the code is the Grail, the Mary Magdalene code that we want all of us to activate in our hearts. Why? Because we want to be able to integrate our heart with the mind. Everybody has been speaking about this for thousands of years, but right now it's a must. It's something that it's not an option. It's something that I call the choiceless choice, to find ways to create a coherence between the heart and the mind, and then obviously our actions, and then obviously the power of our words. And in that process of coherence, we're gonna require to let go of a lot of stuff that appears to be real, but as you all know, it isn't. And Warren, please feel free to interrupt me anytime, because I know you're super intuitive, the same as Grace. And so if you have any questions or you'd like me to pause, please let me know.
Sure,
And,
it's great so far.
Okay. So right now, if you can see the hero's journey chart and the code, I want you with your eyes, just for us to create like this imprint of imagery inside of us. You know, imagery has a lot of power. Actually, everything that is happening in the world right now to control people, the media, right? The vaccines, the virus, the fear, the lockdown, the masks, it has created a global consensus, even though very few people, yet it's a lot, which is 144,000 people, but we'll talk about it in a moment. But the global consensus of adequacy, of saying yes to mask, making it normal, what is totally out of alignment with divine will, with free will, it's because it's been impregnated in our psyche and in our minds with images. The media, Instagram, social media is more than the words right now, the words written or the words spoken. The imageries that we see are the ones that are creating realities, ideas, and adapting us into this new normal that these forces want to sell our consciousness into, making it real, right? But now, we have sacred geometry, we have codes, we have new imagery, and imagery is power. And so when we use this imagery, what we're gonna do is like kind of like a cleanse in our own imagery world, in our own imagery environment. We're gonna cleanse our hippocampus, our medulla oblongata, all the storage of imagery. We're also going to be able to deactivate from survival or amygdala. Because one thing that has been bombarded since March of 2020 till this day, and obviously since long time before, everything was being prepared beforehand, all of this occurred. But one thing that has been the target of everyone, almost everyone in humanity, has been the amygdala. If you can stay in survival mode, in fear mode, and in hypervigilance, in a hyperactive amygdala, then it's easy to sell you a vaccine. It's easy to promise you that there will be a new normal. It's easy to tell you that some politician, someone will rescue us from this, from this stage of emergency that for some reason, our consciousness chose for temporal moments to accept as a truth. And so when I walk you through this hero's journey, with the code, know that we will do like an energy bath, like a mental cleanse, an amygdala cleanse, an imagery cleanse, because remember that imagery has so much power. Actually, imagery has such a power that it can create macro worlds and micro worlds. From micro inputs, which is images, you can create a macro output. And that's the power of imagery. So any questions so far? I'm just going, I don't even know how much time I have, Warren. So
look, we often go for ages, so you've got a good couple of hours at least, whatever you feel.
Oh, a couple of hours. No, I will be brief. All right.
Whatever you feel. It's very, very open, and it's great so far. So I love it.
All right. So if everybody can focus on when the hero's journey image says the fourth threshold, which is called crossing the fourth threshold, the freedom to live. So we're not starting there. And the reason we're not starting there is because, if you can see, humanity is not there yet. And I want you to feel that. But at least any spiritual practitioner, any true committed being to awaken to self-realization, to God realization, to commit to do what is right, in spite of all of our, our faults and mistakes that we do as human beings, at least we know the target. As spiritual practitioners, which I truly believe this is the time for spiritual practitioners to thrive in humanity. It was the time many years ago for the philosophers. Then it became for the revolution, the Industrial Revolution, then cybernetics, then entrepreneurs. I really feel that right now, anyone in the spiritual modality that takes in account, in like Warren, right? You're taking business in account, you're taking family in account, that takes all life as a holistic experience. This is the time. This is our time. So, and this is our duty, and this is where this is a call to action. The problems of the world are a call to action from God to us. I'm going to repeat it. The problems of the world are a call to action from God to us. For what? For this journey. So we know the end goal. And once we have the end goal in mind, the process is as hard as it can be, as painful as it could be, is not going to deter us and distract us to get to the end goal. Our psyche, our prefrontal cortex, our parietal lobes, our heart, they know where they're going, because the general in us, which is, our subconscious mind, is going to direct our consciousness to get to that end goal, which is the freedom to live, the freedom to humanity, which in Sanskrit is called moksha, which is ultimate liberation. And it cannot be attained by grasping, but by letting go, and by truly being the God self that we all are. And so just knowing that we're starting there, that means that that's the end goal. We can walk through the code, which will really do the cleanse, and also will open more of our hearts. And when I say more open, the heart is not a philosophical thing, it's not a Shakespearean thing, it's not even a romantic thing anymore. It's truly the opening of the ventricles, it's truly opening just all of these electrical currents where source as consciousness can send us more information for us to operate with far much higher power by being present in this moment without getting distracted by our emotions, but still remain with our heart fully open. Yes, so far?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
That's beautifully said, Ivonne.
So we're going to start in where it says, I don't know if I have
I'm just integrating it all in. I'm absorbing all of it, Ivonne. That's why I'm not saying much.
Yeah, but feel free, because I cannot see the chat. That's the only thing I don't want to see, and I want to make sure that everyone is is having their own timing to receive this. But I feel your group, it feels so potent. I myself, I'm having to continuously ground myself right now. I can feel it. So we're going to start where it says the ordinary world, which is a call to adventure, which is which is right now, the call to adventure really began with all of these, the lockdown and the coronavirus, because it's the first time that we get a collective call to action from the divine for everyone to awaken. There was not only the Muslims or only the Christians or only the Mexicans or only the Americans or only in Australia or only in Germany. Everybody got the memo. Whoever didn't get the memo, I have no clue. Probably they were just trying to get to Mars with Elon Musk. I'm not sure, but it's truly a collective call. So everything we've been waiting for, it's happening now. Every prophecy, everything in tablets, everything in pyramids, everything encrypted, everything channeled, downloaded. This is the time for this moment, for all of these. So we are receiving the call to adventure. And I want you to feel it, if you can, in your heart. And I want you to imagine this code really being presented to your heart as an offering of a new imagery, for you to be able to receive this call to adventure, but with support. You see, before we had to survive, especially in the entrepreneur era, which I think it's about to change. That's why we now have new social media platforms, Telegram, Clubhouse. It's now people has to get together. People have to get together. The solopreneur, I'm going to rise as the solo alpha, is not working anymore. And the reason it's not working is because it had its time to exist. Now it's time for this consciousness of the Omega consciousness, right? The Alpha and the Omega, collaborating and co-creating. So this call to action from the ordinary world that we were living, we can all walk towards, forward, inwards, and Godwards into the self-realization of humankind. So now it's not only a duty, this call to action of me, Yvonne, to be cool and be so aware and so conscious. That sounded cool 5 years ago for me. It became very egotistical too. Suddenly became spiritual ego. And suddenly now it's like, oh no, it's not about, it's really about God. So we receive the ordinary world in our hearts. With this code, we say thank you to the ordinary world. We say thank you. Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said. We say thank you for the struggle, for the challenge, and for the dimension that just collapsed. The dimension of individuation, the dimension of control, and the dimension of time that needed to structure the next evolutionary steps for humanity.
More so.
Yes, Warren?
No, that wasn't even me. It was weird. I wasn't even talking.
I'm not sure who's talking, but I heard your voice.
It's all right. Muted it, Yvonne. Keep the flow.
Through the blue car.
So we are in the ordinary world, and the call to adventure. So every challenge that humanity is experiencing right now, every darkness that is being revealed into the surface right now, any trauma that you have experienced when you were a child, or that you witness humanity experience now, all of that, as challenging as it seems, is the call to action from God for us to receive and accept the call. But this time we're accepting the call with the support of the Divine Mother, with the support of the Sacred Family.
Oh, spectacular. Look.
I'm glad that there's a spectacular there. So when we are in this call, now, Who does not want to accept this call? And just let me know in the comments, Warren, if someone says no. Because there is a moment that we got to accept or refuse. So many people right now are refusing the call. You will be able to see that you will be telling them you can choose differently, raise your frequency, raise your vibration, choose different things, forgive, pay your debts, pay what you owe. You will be able to be the voice of reason, but some will not want to listen. Those who don't want to listen, we got to honor them because they have chosen to refuse the call. And this is in the prophecies, it says that right now we will have two worlds splitting, which I believe it's already happened, which is the different dimensions where you will be able to witness what's going on in kind of the same world that you think you are, but we're already separated by another dimension, the new earth that has ascended already. Does this make sense?
It really does. There's two worlds. That's what I've been seeing and saying to everyone. So what you're saying is aligning with everything that we've been sharing and teaching, Ivonne, without you knowing a thing.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, so, but this is where we are just in the refusal of the call, because this is where we require and we must have compassion, but still we have to drop the rescuer. I myself for many years had that shadow and that archetype, which was, the rescuer persona can behave both as a hero, but can behave also as the victim. And the victim has another shadow, which can become the tyrant. So we all require to be super mindful that as others refuse the call, that we don't try to rescue, but we honor their choices. And in that honor the choices, we must move forward with those who want to move forward. Does this make sense? Because wanting to rescue is going to drag us into the pit of darkness even deeper. And so there's already a lot of darkness being revealed on humanity. And it is our duty, I believe in my soul and in my heart, to be a hand for those who want to take it, not for those who feel entitled to do so. Does this make sense? And just type yes or no in the chat. All right, so we got to move forward. This is, and we can learn from natural law. An elephant in the jungle, a lion in the jungle, if one of their kind, the elephants are super smart, the whole family system. But if one of their kind, gets injured or get attacked, they do try to save him. But if it begins to slow the whole pack of elephants, the whole family, they will leave him or her behind. Not because they want to leave him, not because they are like the worst people, but because they have a future to save. They have a future generation to protect. They have the whole pack to keep moving forward. And the same happens with lions. So we can learn a little bit about nature now. We got to move forward, especially with those who do want to move forward. And then when we have accepted the call, just feel it, as you are seeing the circle, just begin to take the code there. So we are in the acceptance of the refusal of the call. And here we send anybody that has refused the call. We send them an echo from the future now that we are, an echo to the past that they are going to experience. Because suffering, pain, and separation, it's never experienced in the now. You have to compartmentalize yourself, fragment yourself. You got to create the illusion of separation and enter the rhythm and world of duality in order to believe that you are suffering, in order to believe that there's no God, that there is no way out. You have to fragment yourself so much. And so it is our duty as, light workers or spiritual aspirants of self-realization and God realization for the benefit of the whole, to send them an echo, to still send them a word telling them that they have the opportunity to get in this spaceship of intention, to get on board of this spaceship of consciousness, to get on board of this decision, feeling, thought, and action to do what is right. That their past does not define the future, and that the fear of the future does not define the present. So in this moment with this code, we are all becoming the ancestors of the future generations right now. We're gonna move the code in the circle to meeting the mentor, the supernatural, the meeting the white spirit. And everyone here has met that. And Warren, you're serving, and Grace, you're serving as these guides right now. And you know, I have had the privilege to meet so many mentors, but here there's an important clue. We're gonna thank the mentors of our past, whether they were dressed as enemies or not. You know, most of our mentors sometimes were dressed as challenges, but we're gonna send the code to all the mentors that were, to all the mentors that are, and the mentors that are coming into our future. Why? Because we want the light of spirit, the Holy Spirit, to be felt in our heart, to descend in our consciousness, to occupy the space of our thoughts, of our actions, and of our words, to eradicate our fears, to help us transcend duality, and to help us remember that we're walking this path, even when we're the one, we're not walking it alone. So we open our heart and our mind to receive the supernatural aid, which is supernatural. The supernaturally supernatural is part of nature's gifts for us. So just take a moment to breathe and imagine the code in your heart. Moving right now to your throat, and we're going to move it to in different times to the different chakras. But right now, I felt guided for the throat. To dare to ask for support, to dare to be vulnerable and co-lead. You see, right now, this is the era of synarchy, no more of hierarchy. Is synarchy, is synergy, is horizontal leadership. And so in this stage of the hero's journey, we ask for the support, because a lot of us are in different places. Myself, I'm in Vegas. I've not been able to move from here. Spirit wants me to be here for some reason. You all are, some are in Australia, some in the United States, wherever you are. We request the supernatural aid. We request the support of the Divine Mother. We request the support of the Great Spirit, of the great ancestors that have come before us and that are in front of us, because they are already coexisting with us right now, here, now on earth. And we move the code to the next stage. But just feel it right now. And feel how this is the part where is the test. All the tests humanity is experiencing. Right now, there is a test for people to be able to step outside of fear and enter into faith. Very few are going to be willing to do that because they're afraid that their families will be wounded. They're afraid that the powers to be will destroy them, that their money will disappear, that their businesses will vanish. And there are some people that are, that they're benefiting from this test. There are the people that refuse the call, that will make a lot of money through the trials of humanity. That will make a lot of, they will not be in a horizontal leadership kind of thing. So all of that are tests for us, but we can walk through them and know with this code. And we're going to move the code right now in the third eye. So we have the vision to see, the insight to decide, and the clarity to make decisions, to adapt powerfully. And when I say adapt powerfully, I received this when I was in the monastery. I've been in a monastery for a couple of weekends now. And this is something that many businesses have asked me to talk about. How do we adapt? And this is what I received. And it's not here, but if you want to write it down, and I'll try to be brief on this. But to adapt is to be able to, once we are in this hero's journey, is no matter what happens on earth, on the news, and even on our own psyche, that we got to keep, we got to keep controlling what we can control in ourselves, our diet, our food intake, our exercise levels. Even if we cannot get out of the house, we can do some sit-ups, we can walk in place. We got to keep moving forward. But to adapt, number one is we got to stay aware. So we got to stay meditating and not medicating. So the first A, I'm going to use the word adapt, A-D-A-P-T, to give you this formula I received, which is stay aware no matter what. Meditate, meditate, meditate. And the deeper you feel challenged, the more you got to meditate. The more joyful you are, the less you got to meditate. The deeper you go into the funk, you got to meditate more. So stay aware. Number two, make decisions. Consistently make micro decisions, like I'm gonna wear these clothes, I'm gonna eat this food. It sounds so simple, but this will keep training our whole psyche to stay in adapting mode, but for us, not for anyone else, but for us, to strengthen our soul. Number three is taking action, as you all know. Even meditating is taking action. You gotta get your body out of the bed, sit it up, and meditate. You got to, you got to pay your bills. You got to be human. So no matter what, wherever you can do, take actions, even if they are little. Then you got to have a plan. Anyone that doesn't have a plan, it's kind of a waste, because right now, whatever is getting planned and getting on paper, not only you create a neuroassociative conditioning between you and the universal field of consciousness that responds to your intent, but also manifestation is happening faster than before. You used to have to use a lot of techniques or a lot of writing, a lot of intentions and repetitions of affirmations. It's happening so fast that I highly recommend that you plan, that you grab a paper and you just put on paper what you want to do, plan today for what many people call tomorrow, but truly is the planning for today makes you a captain of this spaceship of ascension. It makes you someone that will lead yourself and those you love and those you got to serve more powerfully and more protected. What you plan will protect you and will deliver to you the tools that you need to make it happen. Okay, so that's the P of planning. Plan, and obviously take the action. And then focus on transcendental. Is like, I'm asking myself now, does this person, does this association, does this teaching, me speaking at a group, me sharing something, does this helps me and others I serve transcend? I used not to ask that question. I used only to live I was living in something called the bright future, which is very very photoshopped reality. Even my spirituality was very cool. I had a great marriage. I said, powerful people, all the power driven things, which was zero power at all. But I never asked myself the question, is this helping humanity transcend? Is this helping my consciousness transcend? Am I able with this business to help more people, or I'm just helping myself? Are we transcending? Are we evolving? Is this benefiting? And this is the key, and this is where we move the code. I'm just letting the code stay in that place of the obstacle so we can all move forward. Can we move from a state of emergency to emergence? And just feel this, because the code is about to move into something called the first threshold. Can we move our state of consciousness from being in a state of emergency to emergence? So keep moving the code.
I can't stop shaking from the DNA upgrade that's happening, Ivonne, from all this.
I'm just so grateful to be with your group. I'm feeling like fire, my arms and everything. So I do want you to know that we are moving to the first threshold, all of us together. But humanity, the 2021, 2020 is still going to be in the road of trials, in the test. the enemy, the allies, the obstacles. Now, a lot of you are allies to each other. This is the time where we cross the first threshold with allies. Those are the ones that are going to support us, and you are going to be the allies of those who are still in the battle of the trials. And some of us are still in trials, and some of parts of our consciousness are in trials still. So we got to bring all of ourselves, all the fragmentation that based on how humanity was before this great awakening took place, it was meant to be a fragmented duality. See, we thought that we had to do business, but not spirituality, or spirituality, but not business, no science. Right now, that's all gone. It's gone. What is happening right now, if you look to the world right now with a conscious awareness, with a state of alertness in your heart and in your mind right now, all of us together, which feels to me like a re-encounter. I'm feeling like, hi, how everybody, I missed you. But it feels like the obstacle, it's going to be over soon, but not in the concept of time. So we have to move to the first threshold, but do understand that us moving to the first threshold is not moving all of humanity yet. A lot of things have to happen between the enemies, the allies, and the obstacles for them to choose to go to the first threshold. So we're crossing the first threshold. We're going to move the code there, and I want you to put the code in your solar plexus, because we start something called the final test, which we got to go to the inmost cave. This is where we get to own our darkness. This is something that took me years, really years, and a lot of personal created suffering, and to understand the importance of owning our darkness, to owning our shadows. But with the support of the code and the frequency of Mary Magdalene and the frequency of the Divine Mother, we're going to call in our shadows. I mean, we could do therapy, I've done family constellations for years and shadow integration work, or we can just do it now. And we can call the fragmented shadows, the PTSD moments, we can call our darkness in and tell it with the code, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I know what you're capable of. No shame, no guilt will blind me from seeing you anymore. I own you. I honor your existence. Yet now I'm going to be in charge. So this is the approach to the inmost cave, to own everything we are. This is where the pretense falls, where the masks really fall. This is where you see really potent people sharing so openly everything of their life, because they have dropped the fear of being judged, the fear of not being accepted, the fear of what others may think or say about them. Osho, a great spiritual teacher, very controversial, used to say that the number one fear, and this is in the inmost cave, that people had, it was not public speaking, it was not death, it was not even someone they loved dying. It was the fear of what others may think of them. And that was from not owning our shadows, not owning our darkness, not owning that those powerful forces are also in us. And she said, the moment we own these forces, we stop being a sheep, because we don't want any longer to be liked, approved, appreciated by someone. And we don't have to pretend to be spiritual, or to be the cool business person, or to be the powerful human. And we drop that need, and the roar of the soul can be heard. And this can only be heard in the cave of the inmost center of your being. So this is where Yeshua, invested 40 days in the desert. And he faced Luzbel or the devil or the demons. But because he knew that I, and my Father are one. And my Father is the creator of it all. This is when the moment that darkness bends its head at the service of the light. It's kind of a Jedi moment, everyone. But we got to stay there and approach it with a lot of self-compassion, a lot of grace, self-forgiveness. There is in your heart, in your mind, in your cellular memory, we're going to call the code to clear those that have guilt, shame. Nothing better for guilt than making amends. Nothing better for shame than loving oneself. So let the code sit there in your heart. You in the cave. You there with Jesus, with Yeshua. Facing the demons, facing the fears, but knowing that we're protected, knowing that there's a plan. Knowing that we can own it all. And gain the strength and power of the here and now. So inhale, exhale, and we move the code. We're going to move the code into the meeting of the goddess. If you see, I'm skipping certain things because if not, I will go many hours, but I want to be able to touch a little bit all the aspects of the hero's journey. And the meeting of the goddess is what's been happening in humanity for some years now, which is the restoration of the sacred feminine, of the Holy Grail, which is not women. It's the sacred feminine in all of us. It's also the powerful healing. The goddess heals the god. The feminine heals the masculine. The masculine, one of my teachers, David Data, used to say, grows by challenge and the feminine by praise. But together, in communion, their duty is to birth the Holy Child and to bring the Holy Spirit. So we're going to meet the goddess and we're going to find love in the darkness. So if you don't have your eyes closed, close your eyes for a moment. And you're in my heart right now. I just felt like crying. And with your hand in your heart, anything that you do not know how to resolve or any pain that you may have for humanity or fear, please hand it to the hands of the Divine Mother. Please let it go so we can let the goddess in. Let her soothe you, nourish you, nurture you. Let her heal you and awaken you through you and in you. Find the love. Find the love that the Creator has for you right now. And the evidence of it is that we all are breathing. So we're going deeper into the abyss. We're doing the descent or dissension, which is so powerful for us to understand because so much we have focused, all of us, in ascension. But ascension happens inwards. So to go inward, we got to descend and know it all and be it all and see it all and own it all. And in this abyss, and I studied something called the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and this is a beautiful example, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, for those of you who want to learn about it, of the descent and the abyss. And once you lose your fear of dying, I was dead once when I was 17, so I lost my fear of dying, but I didn't lose fear. I just lost the fear of dying. But this descent, once we face everything that we fear, at least in our imagination, and we remove the power of it, of possibly coming into existence. You see, in the spiritual community, we have so many biases that are ready to be let go of. We feel that, or think and believe, everything I think is going to manifest. Wait, if I'm the creator, yes, maybe everything I think is going to manifest, but everything I choose to manifest that I think will manifest. Do you feel the difference? We got to start ascending our thinking. We got to start ascending our own beliefs and our own thoughts, because they are not taking us anywhere. They are keeping us in this abyss. And this is where many people are right now. They are like separated. They feel fragmented. A lot of the spiritual communities like that. There's more and more and more and more and more psychedelics being used right now. I have nothing against them. I just can't take any of that, not even alcohol and everything, because when I had the near-death experience, my brain developed so much DMT naturally that imagine if I will take something, I don't know what will happen. But this is a dismembering. And right now, in different levels of humanity, this is happening. We see the dismembering of politics. Look at the powerful abyss. There's a dismembering of finances, of health. But this is a call for the soul. So let's feel it for a moment, but with the support of the code, with the support of the Divine Mother. And I know and I feel in my heart that everybody can feel this invisible presence with us all right now, because how other way do we explain how much we have survived and thrived as a humanity? Is unbelievable to me. We are in the most dark ordeal. And I want you to see how all of this is simultaneously happening with humanity. Some people are still in the Act 1 of separation. A lot are in the descent. And 2021 is about to go into the second threshold. So as you move from there, I want you to bring with you an awareness of what did you learn? Because this is called the elixir. What did you learn about yourself? For example, I learned about myself over the past years that I couldn't do business the same as everybody else. I couldn't Photoshop. It hurt my soul. It hurt everything that I used to do. I learned that I can trust and surrender. I learned that I can be humble and powerful. And I learned that being of service is truly one of the things why I'm here for. And I also learned that I cannot do things alone. So this is a reward for me. So take a moment to think unto yourself, what am I bringing from? Because that elixir is going to become something that others are going to feel from you. Like, I don't have to say all of these, but I may not be liked by many. I may be liked by some. My personality is strong for many. My personality is powerful for some. But this reward that I bring, this experience that I bring from what I've learned from the darkness and the humility it has given me, and also the power of knowing who I am, I don't have to say it, but people feel it. And it gives them safety, loves. It gives them the safety and the acknowledgement and the permission to be who they are. We need that more than ever. So as you visualize, let's keep moving the code. We're going to move to the second threshold. And I want you to see how this is new rules. And have you seen where humanity is at right now? And it's different in different places, like in my country, Mexico. None of the things that the United States or Australia or Europe has lived, it has even begun. They're just starting with the mask and with the lockdowns. So look at the timelines, look at the different realities happening right now. It's interesting. So the new rules are being placed right now. But we are going to do something with the code. We're going to put it in the second threshold. And we're going to declare, and we're going to send it to our first chakra. So it's in our root, so it's in our power, so we can cleanse anything that is out of alignment with the divine energy of creation. This is something, I'm not sure if anybody of you has beginning to start mastering the art of Tantra, but this is the era for that. This is the era where sexual energy needs to be used for the power that is going to be needed, to be used in the benefit of humanity, to be used in the benefit of society and the benefit of you as individuated consciousness. So just send the code to your sexual chakra, to your first chakra. And from there, just declare internally, I will not be submitted by external rules that do not honor the soul and the frequency of God. I will be protected. I am protected. I am immune to viruses, nanotechnology, electromagnetic fields, and fear-based beliefs. The supreme ordeal gives me the new rules of spirit. And move forward and to the next, which is the refusal of the return. We have entered something called the special world. And this is the wild man and the wild woman. My ladies, I saw that there's a lot of ladies here. This is where you need to let the woman rise. The woman required by their own choice to do the work to heal the wounded girl. And the man requires to do that for his little boy. So we can all be an army together that advances in the benefit of progress and evolution. This is our duty. This is where we no longer suppress, but we begin to understand, where we consciously take our intelligence and begin to use it to master ourselves, to master our sexuality, our individuality, to master our resources. It's a duty of the soul, of a soul that evolves. But we cannot suppress any longer or pinpoint or judge others for who they are. We gotta meet the wild woman and meet the wild man. This is scary for many people. This is where many refuse to complete the journey. And they rather stay in the second threshold or go back and adapt, but not in the way that we want to adapt, the higher adaptation to emerge. They go to adapt because they are afraid of the emergency. Does this make sense? Just type in the chat. We're moving. This is an activation, and also I wanted to share this with you so all of you can do it by yourselves with your codes and everything. You can walk through the codes like this and activate different aspects of your intentions and your life and your being. So we're going to move the code to the next stage. I'm just activating it very quickly. Rescue from without. This is where allies come. This is where many people right now, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but at least here in Vegas, there's a place called Area 52 and a place where I take my youngest son. We go to eat. Maybe one day I'll send a picture to Warren and Grace and they can share. But right now, there's a lot of papers from the government that are real. I've asked, is this real or is this just, well, real, that they are saying that they are, protecting right now the space for alien invasion. Now, the rescue from without, it can be anything. It can be alien invasion, but not to rescue, it's just to create a collapse of the beliefs. Most of humanity is so focused right now on the politics, on the virus, on the masks, on the money aspect, and that's just 1% of the great awakening of creation. So the rescue from without is anything that will shake in our consciousness into awakening. It can be falling in love. It can be your teachers, your guides. This is the most important aspect. This is where we get mentors, right? I myself, I have so many mentors. I got a mentor last year that really rocked everything on my life. But this is where we require support. And so we are just going to move the code, because I'm going to request that everybody here receives the right support, the aligned support with your heart, with your intention, with your mission. That is not a rescue from catharsis, but from creation. I think it's time for us to get rescued in a way that is empowering and that is that help us all move forward and Godwards. Let's move forward a little bit and see if you can see the whole play of humanity right now, the death of dreams. This is called the black moment, the dark night of the soul. So now we're going to stay there. So many people are experiencing the dark night of the soul collectively right now, the beginning of it. The reason that we have more suicides than ever before is because when the dark night of the soul arrives, it takes courage, bravery, and grace to be able to go through it and ascend by it. I have a pledge that has been like a savior for me, especially when I feel really down or sad, and I want to pass it on to you because it's also in the code. I forgot to tell Warren. So the words are there encoded, which it was a vision I had of Mary Magdalene, and it's words that said, I pledge to live by example, to be true and brave. So just feel these words, I pledge to live by example, to be true and brave with grace. And let the dark night of the soul that all of us experience so many, I don't know how many you have experienced. I've experienced so many, I cannot even count them anymore. But this is what we birth realization. Yes. So just stay there. And let the chalice, let the grail, the Divine Mother whisper in your soul, no matter how hard it gets, I am with you. And I want you to imagine that a part of you stays there, the old, the fears, what you think is impossible, the anger, the judgment, the hatred, any betrayal that you have received. Leave it there. This is the crucifixion moment. This is the sacrifice, but we don't sacrifice external things. We sacrifice the old self that will no longer help us move forward. It took us and walked us till this moment of the journey. So with great grace and great love, we move forward and move the code towards, it says, the third threshold. And there, just breathe. This is where we need to take action. This is where many people stay to, because they long for yesterday. They long for things to be the same as they were before. they wish they would have, could have, should have. If I could have been a better mother, a better father, a better husband, a better wife, a better human, or if my mother could have been, my father could have been, my former could have been. But those things will draw us back by the law of gravity to living consistently in a supreme ordeal. So we must move forward, my loves. And so we're going to move the code into the catharsis, the climax, which is the showdown. And put the code right now in your crown chakra. And imagine that in the crown chakra, in the showdown, in the catharsis, you're being bathed. In your auric field, in your electromagnetic field, in these and all lifetimes, in these all dimensions, in these and all forms. Everything you are, have been, will be, even that which you are not, is being bathed by this code, helping you with the catharsis for integration and moving you like a boat would move you in water towards the moment of resurrection. Here, set your intention. I resurrect myself in the most highest power of love, of compassion, of kindness, of clarity, of purpose, of leadership and truth. I attract all divine allies to my field. Anything that is no longer supporting me and those I serve move forward and Godwards into the great awakening. May that fall away easily. May I continue to resurrect in peace, in oneness and love. As I return to the unified field of consciousness of I and my Father being one. So let the code move into the world dancer. This is where Rumi, an incredible Sufi poet, used to say, "But light and darkness are the dance of love. Love is the astrolabe of God's mystery. Whether it points to heaven or earth, it points to God." This is the divine dance. This is where we remember, where we ascend, yet descend into being present, whole, complete, nothing lacking, embracing our power, aligning our mind and our heart, creating coherence and unification as we arrive to the fourth threshold, the freedom to live and to be alive. So Warren is in grace. Will it be appropriate for me to do a chant right now to lock these?
Yes, please.
All right, so just close your eyes. So I know there was a lot of teaching and education, but I'm certain that you all will be able to use these in your business, in your relationships, for those you serve, for yourself, and for the world more and more each day. So this chant, I received it many years ago, and Warren, you have heard it, maybe Grace too. I can send it to you later on. It's free. I put all my music for free. It's all over the place now, but it's a chant of reunification. Is that unification, that heroic journey, but the God's journey is to remember that mother and father are here, that we're the holy child. And that with the Holy Child being us and the presence of the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, always present, loving everyone, even it loves our enemy. It loves, that's why I don't hold grudges for anyone in my life. No one ever, because I know I would be holding a grudge on myself. But this chant will lock this down, will like anchor us on all in. And it's called the prayer, which is the absolute harmonic prayer. And this is what I received. So close your eyes. Awan ki sahenti amenti mero prasad yakin boas tata omae harta awan ki sahenti amenti mero prasad yakin boas tata omae harta. One more time, put your heart on it, set your intention, ask for what you want, ask for what you need, receive knowing that you and the Father are one. Awan ki sahenti amenti mero prasad yakin boas tata omae harta omae harta omae harta. Take a deep breath in. Inhale. Hold the breath. If you can, apply the root lock. Squeeze the sphincters. Squeeze the energy. Let the energy circulate throughout all the work we did. Exhale. Inhale one more time. Hold it again. Again, apply the root lock. Squeeze the sphincters. Squeeze the first chakra. Let the energy circulate. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And when you're ready, and only when you are ready, open your eyes. Thank you so much, everyone. And as you all come back slowly but surely, when you open your eyes, if you see the code and you see the hero's journey, there's an aspect that says the world navel. So truly the whole narrative, everything that is happening outside in the world is happening from within us. So whenever you feel appalled by what is going on in the external world, really focus. You can even just put the code or visualize the code in your navel, the center where the umbilical was, because he's still connected to the God. He's still connected to the divine. You will be refueled. I myself was refueled just by being with you all here. Having a deep experience of darkness the past days. That's why I've been going to the monastery and in silence. So I thank you for the for the opportunity to serve you all. Hope it was of service to you all, Warren and Grace and everyone. Thank you so much.
Wow. That was, I'm not normally speechless, but I am at the moment. I felt myself walking through everything you said, and especially when you talked about this fourth threshold, I saw crossing like the Jordan River. That's what I was seeing, carrying an elixir. I could feel myself like Hercules carrying an elixir. And I could feel you rebirthing. I felt like I was in the divine womb of the cosmic mother, and I felt like I was going through the womb, and I felt like I was being birthed out. That's exactly how I felt, like I actually was in a womb.
Yeah, you know, I had the experience too when I was sharing of the same. I did see the same, the Jordan, you know, I saw the mountains, I saw Yeshua. It was very powerful for me too. I think it's because all of you here together, these are God incidences.
Yes.
I don't know the comments. I can see the screen, but thank you for this opportunity, everyone. So please drink a lot of water. Because as you know, what happens in the imagery world, it is happening. Our subconscious mind is going to be wired by this very strongly. We want these images more than before, now than ever, you know. That's why I'm so, you know, whenever you would like me to come back, Warren, and perhaps in a couple of months, if you would like, I love for your group, a guided rebirthing, which everybody will need to be laid down, right? But it's right now, it is a duty to create images that can really remove all the stuff that we don't need anymore. Because it's going to be literally very few, 144,000, which is a metaphor, but very few that are going to move humanity forward. And we've already done it. It's just that in this experience of time, in this dimension, we experience it as if it's heavy because it's dense frequency vibrations, scalar waves, very slow. But we already done it. We already won. We just have to believe in that and gather with the right people. I'm telling you, you know, gather with the right people, keep moving each other forward. You know, it does matter. It will matter more than ever.
No, I couldn't agree more. I just, no, I'd love you to come back and do a rebirthing, because I was going through all of that. And what I was seeing was how much it was clearing energy and preparing everyone for just what I felt, Yvonne, was just bringing the future into the now and everything together.
That's it.
And as you were sharing about the mentors, I was getting pictures of, like, I reckon about 25 mentors came to me, like literally in business, in spiritual, girlfriends I've been with, you know, and some of them, and in fact, the one I sent the most love to was a girl who was particularly, as I perceived her at the time, toxic to me, and yet I actually saw how much she taught me about the feminine, and I was sending her the code, like probably twice as much as everyone else, just pouring it into her, because I was like, wow, thank you for what you revealed to me. And you know, I was sending it to Toby, I was sending it to all the great teachers who have been part of the evolution.
Yeah, I'll join you. I'll join you in sending the code. So, Warren, before I leave, I brought a code as a gift for all of you.
Oh, thank you.
So
Really?
may I share my screen? So I will send it to you. You can gift it to everyone that is here. It's a code that I just created for a group that I have. That is, you know, it's
I'm so honored.
People where we do spiritual teachings every month. But I thought that this group will be perfect to receive it. So may I share my screen?
Sure. I'd love you
How
to.
do I share
I'll
it?
stop my share.
Oh, okay. So this is a code. It doesn't even has the logo, but I'm going to send it to you so you can share it with everyone.
Oh.
Because it's the code of enlightenment. And so I thought, what better group to share it and to gift it to? It's a gift from me to you all than this group. But for you all, I will explain what I created here. This is my first code ever that is not perfectly complete. Can you see the little like chunks? And the reason why is because when I was creating this, it took me it was a 4-month code creation that I did, because I'm teaching for 6 months something called, enlightenment and the unified field of consciousness. And the more I try to put a code of enlightenment, it just is not possible, because enlightenment means in light me. It's my job. The light is in me. As soon as I own the darkness, the light will turn on. We can't fight the darkness. You can never turn off the darkness. The darkness is already off. You can only turn on the light. So it's an enlightenment process. But what I do want to share with you, these pieces that look like it's incomplete, or like my little son Iam said, Mom, it looks like the dog of my sister chew it. I'm like, no, this is the unified field of consciousness. And then he said, that makes sense. But why is it complete is because this is a reminder for all of us that everything is moving. Nothing is ever like just stationary or just permanent. Any pain, any sorrow, any tragedy, anything that we think is terrible, it's moving into its next evolutionary expansion. Its nature is light. So no matter how much darkness, the process of darkness is, which is to birth, to support the light, to birth itself into more light, we're always going to be moving and expanding and evolving, which I think that's great news. And so the second thing is that this is something I didn't teach in my group Convergence, but if you see behind Warren and everyone, there's a language. It's a new language for what I received is the language of 3022. I'm not going to be here in a physical form, but it seems that when I created this code, the language was coming from there. So you said, bringing the future into the now, Warren. And so it was like another tribe or another kind of, imagine that I was with Alex, Famida, William, Grace, Warren, Steve, all of you in the future, and all of you said Mieko, Noelen, I want to say your names, Christine, Sam, Max, Fiona, Sheldon, I want to say all your names. But imagine that if you existed in a future version of yourself, that you said, Yvonne, please create this code, bring it back. This is our language. And the language is numbers. Very interesting to me. This has, if you see, it has the 888, but it has also the number 555. I'm not sure, I am not a professional numerologist. I use the basic of numerology and just to create the codes. I'm, if you hire me for that, don't. I will suck terribly. But I do know that this was the numbers that they gave me. It was 555, 888, and then they gave me a couple of dates, so I can give them to you all, if so you choose, Warren. They gave me December of 2021, December 12th of 2021. Yep. They also gave me July 7th of 2022. Yep. And they gave me March of 2031 as something incredibly that was going to happen in humanity. So
what day was that last one? What was the last day?
March of 2031.
March 2031.
Of 2031, yes.
Okay, yep.
Which is 10 years from now.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what everybody's going to create, but this represents enlightenment and the unified field of consciousness. So I work with my Tesla coils. I was going to bring them to all of you, but I got so high in the monastery of silence that I forgot. But this is a gift from me to you all. You can use it in your group. You can send it to everyone that is here for them to have it. And this is it.
Wow, I'm just writing those dates down.
I hope you have a recording for everyone.
Oh, yes, don't worry. We always record, but Yeah. Wow. That code's very gentle, isn't it? It's a different code.
It's very gentle. It's for everybody to print it and to be able just to meditate, because you know it's also very gentle, but also very calming.
Yes.
I created it purposefully so that the you know what they call the monkey mind, which I'm not a believer of that. I'm just believing of an untrained mind. Will calm down, and whenever you are all focusing on meditating and your mind runs like so many things, I cannot stop. Just watch the code. Just that moment is like instant meditation. And instant meditation is instant illumination. And instant illumination is instant remembrance. And instant remembrance is unified field of consciousness comes stronger and stronger through us more and more. And we begin to experience more peace, more grace, more ease, even in the midst of the storm. The center is the storm.
Yes.
So that's my gift for all of you for receiving me. Thank you so much.
Yes. No, thank you so much. I'm just writing down everything you're saying. It's just amazing. So all I can say is, Ivonne, thank you from the depths of my heart. It's just such for the gift and everything that you've given today. There's a question from Max. Max is asking, is there any meditation style that you recommend, Ivonne, for daily work?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Is there any question, or is there any style of meditation for daily practices that you specifically recommend, Ivonne?
Well, you know, I practice transcendental meditation, but and I also practice active meditation, active imagery meditation. I'll share that one with you. So every day, this takes me less than 5 minutes. I did like a circle, like a prayer circle of the Native Americans on my garden, but you don't even have to do that. And what I do is I step into an area of this circle or imaginary circle, and I imagine all prosperity and abundance come to me and to my loved ones, to my clients, society, etc. I don't keep it only for me, because if not, that's not prosperity, that's just accumulation, right? So then I'm there, I'm with my eyes closed and I'm moving actively. Then I step into another area of the circle. It's 4 areas, and that's the area of karma. And I'm like, I cleanse myself from all karma. I make amends now. So I am actively meditating with my eyes closed and also doing this visualization and power imagery process. And all the karma is cleansed. From this moment on, me and those I serve, me and those I love only have positive karma. Then I step into the next quadrant of the circle, which is the area of the allies. So one area is prosperity, another is the area of karma. The other area is the area of the allies, and the other one is going to be your primal instinct. So I'm in the allies, and I just visualize an eagle. I fly with God, I serve God, I fly with other eagles that also serve God. Then I step back, maybe one day I'll record myself and send it to all of you. And then I step back into the last part of the circle, and I say, I use my primal power, the inner darkness in me, because I have it, the shadows at the service of humanity, never against. So I do that. That takes me, it's so fast. Then I step in the center of the circle, then I step in the center of the circle, all with my eyes closed. And I imagine being washed, being like a shower of consciousness, a shower of brilliant light, showering me from anything that my ego has been tricking me into believing I don't have anymore, or anything I've grasped that is not mine, energies, bad vibes, good vibes, etc. I just cleanse myself. And then I walk to the front. Literally every day I do that. Every day I do that. It takes me less than 5 minutes. I get out of the circle and I just see Jesus there. But I see him as a horse for some reason. I don't know. That's my imagination. A white horse. This has been happening. So that's one meditation. That's active meditation, Max. If you want to accelerate something, I'm telling you the things that have happened in my life from that are incredible. For example, in the area of prosperity, you can imagine anything you want for business, it happens. The karma, anything challenge, struggle that you have with someone, it will clear. For allies, if you feel lonely or you don't know who your friends are, they will come. And if you have not been able to master any like rage, anger, sorrow, sadness, the primal part of that, I will help you master that. I don't know if you wanted to hear that, but that's something I do every single day, every single day. And now for meditation that I do, transcendental meditation, I sit down 20 minutes twice a day and I repeat a mantra. And you can choose any mantra really that you want. I have my own mantra that I received through initiation, but a great mantra, something I used to share with my former husband, is the words, actually I'll give you some if you guys want to use it. It's called Yakin Boaz. And these are ancient Mayan words, Itzai words that mean open the portals of creation. So you can be sitting, just breathing, and just repeating Yakin Boaz, Yakin Boaz, Yakin Boaz. And if the thought comes of, oh my gosh, my father, my mother, the money, the vaccine, the this, the that, you don't get stressed about it. You just welcome those thoughts. You welcome those thoughts in, and you just return. This is key words, okay? I return innocently to the mantra. This word innocently is like so powerful, So I return innocently to the mantra. Yakin Boaz, Yakin Boaz, Yakin Boaz. You do it silently. And you don't have to do the 20 minutes. You can do 3 minutes, 7 minutes, 11 minutes. I like the 20 minutes because that's what my mind needs. But I hope those two serve you. One is the repetition of a mantra. I do recommend meditating right now. But the imagery process, I recommend it even more than sitting down, because there's something so powerful right now in the field that everything is happening so much faster. It's just like instant manifestation. So if you can master that imagery process inside of you, I mean, you're gonna go, you're gonna get a lot of leverage spiritually and a lot of power in benefit of yourself and those you serve too. Hope this serves. Took a long explanation, but hopefully it serves.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. Grace asked me, she said, do you have any particular, she said, don't say that loud, but I will. Do you have any particular message for us or the group to finish with, Ivonne? Well, that's it, really.
Well, that's it. I think I said, but I did had one that just came through, which is let go of anything that distracts you from your greatness. You got to let go of anything that brings you down, no matter how beautiful it may be decorated. If you don't feel uplifted and up level, this is what came through. Let it go. I should start listening to the voice too, but let it go.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ivonne. And look, everyone, if you could just all stay on for just a little bit after Ivonne leaves now, and we'll just share and integrate everything that happened. It was so powerful, and I just feel to let people come on and share. But Ivonne, thank you so much just for what you've given for us today. And
thank you.
Look, I look forward. I've just sent you a message on Facebook just for our next session, and I'm just looking forward to when you next share with us. So thank you so much. I'm going
to go because I'm going to go to the monastery back.
Oh,
there. All right. Love you all. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Wow, everyone, that was just profound, wasn't it? Yep, everyone can just say, wow. And one thing I would like to just share as well, just before we get, I'm going to open up the mic just for people to share as you feel led to. But before I do, just one thing I really would like to just mention that's important for me just to share. It's very important to honour and reward a teacher, and I really would like to just say that I would like to actually give her an offering or gift from City Awakening just as a fair exchange spiritual awakening for what she's given us today. So any gift or donation that's given today to our PayPal account will be given specifically to Ivonne. So I'd like to give her a gift, and I'm going to give her one. But I'll just like to open everyone who's received something today for the opportunity to give something. So whatever you feel led to do, if you feel led to give nothing, that's fine as well. So I'm just going to put in the chat the PayPal address. And like I said, today, it will specifically go to Ivonne. So I want to, and that will just be a way of giving back to her. I really want to thank her and bless her for giving to us. And I trust that's okay to request that from everyone. But like I said, this is just entirely as you're led in your heart. So I've been led to definitely make sure I give her something today. And the code that she sends to me, I will definitely make sure I send to everyone. So on that note, thank you, everyone. So now I'd just like to ask anyone who'd like to take the mic. And I'm just going to put the code back up or re-put the screen share just for people just to share. And Grace, maybe you can put your camera on and yeah, just come on and just as you feel led.
All I can say is that was absolutely amazing. It was an incredible journey. I saw so many horizons and different levels of realms. But the balancing of that is that it worked my guts out so much. It's like my solar plexus. It's all in knots. But as she said, taking full ownership and owning all the darkness and the shadows and welcoming them in totally. So
that was powerful, wasn't it, Grace? I was really just awakening and bringing in the shadows.
Oh yeah, I mean, for example, for what we've gone through throughout our journeys, through the business, through the churches, through all the things that you and I have created, and the number of conflicts and all the darkness, shadows that we had to contend with. It's just wonderful to be able for her to really share that and to really journey it and really claiming it in our hearts. It's just so powerful because we do forget and we do get caught up in the things of this world and we can't help ourselves but seeing the visible rather than the invisible. So it was just fantastic that she worded it. And not only that, she worded it in such a compassionate, feminine power. And really, really felt it in my heart, really felt it in my energy, my whole being.
Yeah, there's... Oh, you go, Warren, sorry.
No, you go, Steve. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Christine mentioned at the start how the synchronicities come in. So I've probably got two bits of feedback other than wow, obviously. But, Christine mentioned the synchronicity. And for me, that whole session was just about synchronicity, right? The way the whole thing was synchronicitous to, I think, where I'm at individually and kind of where we're at as a collective as well. It just spoke straight to the heart, to where we are, to our pain, to our struggles. It was kind of like just if you could have just boxed up and presented the perfect session for right now, like kind of that was it. Like it was fascinating to be part of it, but just to observe the synchronicity with that. And probably the second comment I would make is you do see a lot of, she touched on it too, you see a lot of spiritual teachers that there is a fair bit of ego about them, but I just got no sense of any ego in anything that she did. It was just, like you said, Grace, it was just almost the divine feminine, just speaking so much truth. And it was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, very pure, Steve. That's how I describe Ivonne. Very pure.
Yes. It's a great word, yeah.
And like you said, Steve, you can actually, she was humble enough because she's vulnerable and open and her energy, her heart energy was totally open to us, and that she's gone through the suffering and through the darkness and through the pain that we all go through in all the sessions that we do as a group together. She's gone through it, and she really showed that in her energy.
Yeah, totally. It was so gentle yet so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can tell you right now, Steve, she lives in Vegas, in Henderson, which is out towards the mountains. And, you know, definitely right now, she said it's been really tough because this is a woman who feels everything. And you probably noticed that, like, she feels everything. So she feels what humanity is going through. She feels what's happening. So she said, like Vegas, they've been mandating masks. They've mandated all kinds of, like, you know, stuff. So she's really feeling it. Her little community got locked down for 14 days. They could virtually not leave their home. So she's really felt it.
Yeah. And when she was doing her chant too, I could just feel my whole body tingling. It was a little bit like the ayahuasca in the Amazon in a way. Like it was really so powerful.
Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I really want to learn that now myself, to do the chanting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what she said, in fact, Lexi just wrote, she inspired me more than anything to just continue focusing on ascension and connection to the Creator, serving others, believing in yourself, and realizing the divine is in all, and waking up with that realization in every moment. She moved through the journey so quickly, and I enjoyed her swiftness. Yeah, look, I agree, and I love what she said, how she awakened the psychedelic in all of us, where, you know, that is one path which she acknowledged, but what she was doing today, if you could feel it, was activating all levels of DNA within us. And I just felt myself rebirthing today. And what she shared was very practical wisdom about the dark night of the soul as well, Steve. I don't know if you noticed it, but you can see what she said. It's not like a one-off thing. It's just an ongoing thing. You go through various levels as you make a jump through your different ordeals for your next stage of evolution.
Yeah. And I actually really liked what she said too about owning our shadows and really embracing that. You know, and that is the way to the light is owning the shadow, whereas the natural tendency is to push it down because it's uncomfortable. But to own it and shine the light on it is and use its power is, you know, the way forward and the way to the light. That was, and again, that's the synchronicity of what we've been talking about with the dark night of the soul, because, you know, I mentioned at the start about those up and down moments. It's when it's down, you just want to run and you want to hide, and you want to squash it down more, and you want to reject yourself more, and yet, you know, she was so on point with that message of embracing our shadow.
No, and in fact, one of the things that really hit home to me was I've been studying in the journey of enlightenment of the hero, and in Buddhism, entering what's called samadhi or enlightenment or bliss, and to actually enter what's called the ninth realm of samadhi, which is the ultimate. Before you can enter into that, there is a stage that you actually hit where you must transcend suffering, which means that until you actually realize that apparent suffering or shadows are actually really, like, basically you start to embrace pain and what you see as challenges just as much as you experience moments of joy. That's when you actually let go of duality completely. And often we have those temporary moments in psychedelics, but it's actually when you can completely see that. And even, like, as an example, as some of you know, I had some challenges the last 4 months around my feet and various other things. I would say this week I've stepped into a much easier place on the one hand, but on the other hand, I can see that I've noticed I've been called more to serve and more to heal. So that's, in a way, another form of challenge to balance out the joy I'm feeling. I'm much busier serving right now than I have been. So what she did today was profound, and what we will all find is that the activation she was giving today, you will feel over the coming days and weeks will integrate at different time frames in some of you. So I like what Famita says. I felt the presence of the Divine Mother all throughout. I appreciated Yvonne's explanation of what the restoration of the feminine energy means. Yeah, I felt many masters were present witnessing today myself. For me, I felt the Divine Mother was very much there, overshadowing it all. I felt Mary Magdalene was really there today.
Particularly when she stuck out for me too is the echoes. She talked about echoing from the past to the present and to the future. So it just reminds me of the old prophets in the scriptures, that they continuously echoed right through the future, the next generation.
Yes, they did.
Mm.
No, there's so much in here about bringing the future into the now and the now into the future. And we live so much in what I call the non-existent future, whether it's the dreaming, the fantasy future, or the painful future. When you think about it, like the fantasy future is that one day the world will be better than it is, rather than, well, maybe the world's just where it needs to be for now. Or what's called the fantasy future, and then the painful future, like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not going to have any money tomorrow. Well, the question is, do we have money today? Do you have money right now? Do you have food? Do you have clothing? Do you have everything covered? If the answer is yes, then you are abundantly, perfectly provided for.
It's that simplistic, simple things, isn't it? And be totally in gratitude and thankfulness.
Yes.
Actually, speaking of abundance and money, when she was talking about the circle meditation at the end, and there was it was only, I guess, minor, but a really important distinction she made. It's not just, you know, asking for prosperity for yourself, which is just accumulation, but it's prosperity for your family and prosperity for humanity. And I think when we're trapped in the ego world, and if we are struggling to pay bills and money's tight, we kind of focus on just that accumulation. We want to feel free and easy with finances. And yet the distinction she made about asking for prosperity for everyone goes beyond that accumulation. And I think that's a really important thing.
I agree. No, sending it. What felt wonderful for me was actually sending the code and love to every mentor that's ever been in my life, because there were a few people who I've kind of, you know, I'm grateful for their role, but it didn't end as well as I would have liked. And it was really nice to be able to actually send them the code and feel it go into them. And I love what you said, Steve, about abundance for all.
Totally agree. The other thing that she pointed out was that be not a rescuer for those who choose not to jump into the hero's journey, and those who refuse to have the calling of the dark night of the soul.
Yes.
And really have compassion and love and grace for those who don't hear the call or refuse the call. I think that's the biggest one, because most of us are naturally a rescuer, particularly if it's involving our close family, our bloodline family, and we want to help as much as we can with our family, don't we? So I just think that I just felt that was such a wonderful advice, that there's nothing that we can do for them, because each and every one of us has to hear that calling. We have to jump into the river and go right deep into the dark night of the soul, because then it's up to the individual to really go for it and to swim or to float.
That's magnificent, Grace. I'd forgotten about the refusal of the call, but she actually said that it is part of the hero's journey, the refusal of the call.
Yes.
For some people, they refuse the call, and that's actually okay for now, because, and in a way, right now, many on earth are refusing the call. This is the opportunity to awaken, and we can judge people and say, oh, you're foolish or stupid. Well, it's just maybe where people are at. They're refusing the call, and as the hero's journey teaches, and as I'll be teaching in the following weeks of the hero's journey, because we are going to go through this Joseph Campbell model, which Ivonne learned over the next few months. The refusal of the call will be coming up in the next couple of weeks, and maybe right now it's just compassion, because know that the consequences of refusal of the call will be a sense of misery, frustration, and a greater emptiness until the call is taken up.
Yeah, one thing, sorry, Grace, one thing, Warren, just on a really practical level that I've had to, I guess, watch myself with, is seeing an increasing number of people went on out wearing masks. And, you know, part of me just wants to run up and shake them and rip it off and say, what the fuck are you doing? Wake up to yourself. Yet it's not my role to rescue them or to push them onto the path. They have to see that themselves. And all that rage in me does is drags me back to the 3D, right? And into that, rather it doesn't do anything for me or for them if I was to do that.
And also we've got to, just to add to that, Steve, is that we've got to be mindful that we can easily do that on the physical, but also be mindful energetically that we're rescuing them as well. Because particularly being empaths, you can easily just energetically kind of coop them in your arms and take them close to your bosom and hold them.
Oh gosh, yes, that's so true. Far out.
Yeah. So it's not just ripping the mask, but moving in and drawing them into yourself and bringing them into your circle of love. Because at the end of the day, if they're kicking and fighting and they're refusing, you're going to get stomped on. So just be mindful too that, you know, energetically you're not taking it all in and rescuing them, because at the end it is their journey, and that's for them to work it out.
Yeah, so it's another great example of that synchronicity, you know, Christine spoke about, and even just that, speaking of the rescuing and that, I mean, you in particular, Grace, have been talking about you know, the drama triangle, and she even touched on that today, which is a little bit what we've been talking about just now. But so the synchronicities in all of what she shared today for me were just mind-blowing.
Yeah, I agree. It was like everything that's been getting shared, taught, activated, experienced all came out today.
Yeah, well, it shows we really are on track with all the things that we have. We're only a small group, but we are a magnificent group. And she felt the power of the whole group, because everyone here is active in their own way, and that most of us are committed to actually meeting each other. Some of us, we meet each other daily, and also lots of group sessions that we do. And it's wonderful, because Warren and our intention to, right from the beginning, starting this, is our focus is, like she said on her 5th point, with focusing on transcendental. So we're focusing on ascension and focusing on, you know, beyond what is in front of us. And so I love that. I love the questions that she asked. I've written down most of her questions, you know. So firstly, am I evolving? So it's like knowing yourself, right? So am I evolving? Is our group evolving? So you start with the core of yourself, and then you go out into the outer layer of yourself, and then basically to just move out into the interplanetary system. And I just think if we have that focus, just like in the scripture says, if we have a vision, a clear vision of where we're going, then we have, however it's going to take us, maybe we'll detour for a bit, but as long as we set our eyes on that vision, it will keep us active, it will keep us alive, and it gives meaning to us.
Yeah. She stopped time, Nolly, and says, covering everything we've been working through for months and compressed it into a short time. Yeah,
so true.
Nolly. Yeah,
so true.
Yeah, past, future, and present all became one.
Yeah.
I love what you just said there about the mask, Steve, because it was just such a great comment that you said there, because this is something I've been learning too, because at the end of the day, that's just where if the moment we become an anti-mask, we're just the other half of the same triangle. And I was even seeing that with pro-Trump and anti-Trump. It's just the same triangle. And when you just transcend all of that, it's like, wow. Because
Yeah,
some
it's so easy to get caught up in it though, Warren, isn't it? You just get it's like a vacuum cleaner that just sucks you into it emotionally so quickly.
Yeah, it's like people who are taking the mask are choosing that. You know, they're choosing to go by fear and refuse the call. And what we forget is all of us have done that. Like every single one of us right here have refused the call at some stage. I know I did. I know Grace did. I know Steve has at some level. I know pretty much everyone here. We feel the call and we feel the fear and we run back from it. And we shrink from the light and we go into darkness and we hide. And so that's, if we see it from that perspective, we go, okay, well, maybe this is just happening. And there are some who will choose not to awaken, but there are many who will choose to awaken. That as the pain gets more deeper, it will propel people to awaken. So it's really just reflecting the worst fears of everyone. And so if you're wearing a mask running around, it's just really reflecting your worst fear of your life, your fear of death, your fear of ill health, your fear of loss, your fear of your heart being broken, your fear of having your power taken away from you. So in a way, I love what Grace said too. When we rescue, we're stopping people from walking their journey. And even if they attack us, well, they're not really attacking us. They're attacking that shadow, and that call within themselves are just denying when you think about it.
See, that's why for those who are involved on Fridays, our office day on Fridays sessions, that's why I absolutely have a deep appreciation for each one of you guys for really jumping into the river. And we've been working on it for over a year, probably close to nearing to 2 years. And each one of you has really dived in, and you can see our transformation from when we started to where we are today. And so that Friday session is really, we've actually done a pre-prepping, prepping ourselves for what's to come this year for the Dark Night of the Soul. And as Ivonne said, many are going through now. So it was a wonderful way of introduction for us to start doing it. So kudos to you guys joining me on Fridays and really getting in there, like being totally naked with one another and ripping that mask off. It's not easy, as you've known, not very easy. I mean, some people have sworn at me or done all sorts of things at me, but that's okay, because again, it's about the trumpet has been blowing for centuries. Really, it's been blowing, hasn't it? So yeah, so kudos to you guys who's involved on Fridays, and really, really appreciate it so much for bearing your soul. And also just reminding you that each one of you, when you reveal your soul, you know, I have to look at the mirror of myself. So when you share the deepest pain in your heart, then it helps me to reflect where I'm at and where is that pain in my heart, and what are the things that I'm hiding myself. And so it just turns the rocks. So really, really appreciate it.
I'd just like to make a comment that I agree with everything that you've said. Everyone who's been talking and people have made comments, I just agree with all of that. It's such a powerful session, and I needed my weeping rag today, well and truly. And talking about bearing your soul and bearing your heart, Grace, the thing that really struck me when she was talking today about the thing that people are more afraid of than anything is being judged. That was fascinating, really, because that's so true. We think we're scared of this, that, and the other thing, but the judgment is such a big thing. She said that, I'm pretty sure she said that people are more afraid of being judged than of dying. How powerful is that?
Well, so true, isn't it? How much does it stop from speaking your truth?
Absolutely.
How much does it stop you from being who you truly are? Because we're both dark and light, aren't we? And we only want to show certain things ourselves to everybody. But we're both dark and light. We both are needed to shift, to transform.
Yeah, that's what she was saying about the honoring your shadows. Yeah, the whole session was just amazing, and yeah, it was indeed. You've all covered all the things that I was going to say, so yeah, I just agree with all of that.
Yeah, well, when you in the beginning, what does it say? In the beginning there was void, and then light came. So to me, that was a journey of the love. The light came in to love the void, and coming into the void is drawing and intermingling and having that union together. The union of the way I see is the masculine and feminine, the void and the light, having that sacred union and coming into the oneness in creating a new realm, creating a new world. And you both need it.
Yeah.
One of the things she also said that I want to actually remind everyone of, and I feel to encourage people to do after the webinar today, because I'm going to do it immediately after, is she said that manifestation is changing to becoming more instant. And I do agree, because what happens is that one of the things that Gerald O'Donnell teaches, who's a really great consciousness teacher and remote viewer, and the name that the Council of Nine specifically told me to go and visit because he works with them. Gerald is an amazing guy, and one of the things he shares is that when there's deep fears manifest faster than anything else. So keep in mind, we are at the time of heightened manifestation on the earth because of the deep fear which people are feeling. Now, what this means is that manifestation is sped up and got instant, but the other side of that means that if you're clear enough in your intentions, you can manifest instantly. So I really feel to tell everyone at a minimum to go away and clearly write out in a journal or on a card 3 things very clearly you'd really love to manifest. Like it could be something in your health, it could be something around relationship, sex, tantric intimacy, it could be something around financial business, it could be something around spiritual, it could be something for your region or your planet, it could be, it could be all of them. So just go and write out, just very succinctly, very clearly, not in complicated language, just a very simple outline in the I am language, which means in the now, not like I would love one day too, because that's not I am. Just something simple like I am, creating a whole new way of being in my finances by becoming a potent business, by becoming a business owner and an investor in private equity. That's just one example. I am in abundant health and loving my health and enjoying playing sport again, something like that. I am, experiencing deep heart union and intimacy with whatever your manifestation is you'd like to experience. So I just feel that just keep it as simple as you can. Make sense?
That's actually good because as she puts it in, she gave, it's incredible for someone so feminine. She actually gave a lot of structure and steps. And one of them, actually, let's have a look what I've written. She's given us 5 steps in taking action in regards to once you start this journey. So, yeah, most of it's part of it is taking action. Taking action once you start. And actually, it's formulating into matter, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's moving it into matter, and yeah, it's so important to actually take what I'm being told is to really take the action. 2 things I'm getting to do today is to, number 1, go away and really write something down, and please do it within the next couple of hours after this webinar finishes. And the second thing is, if you really receive the blessing, even if it's only like $5 or something, to give a gift of some kind, so we can send, I'm going to certainly be sending her something myself, just something that actually helps to activate the abundance even more for you, even if it's just a very tiny amount. It doesn't have to be much. That's the other thing I'm sensing, just something to really bless this lady and really show her how much we value her for giving of her time, giving her heart with no ego, expecting nothing back.
Yeah, she was very giving, and she does live by faith.
Yes, she does. She really does.
Yeah, the way she the way she lives her life truly is by faith.
Yeah.
Very fulfilling today. I look
Very
forward to her coming back.
Oh, look, me too. Like I said, I'm very humbled right now. And yeah, look, all I know is I'm getting the message to serve a lot more myself. That's what I've been getting, to really, part of the hero's journey is to cross over and really serve and to teach. And so don't be surprised to hear more courses, more teachings coming out in the next little while, more little activations and bits and pieces. And I know Grace was sharing an idea she had that she can share when she's ready, but I just resonated so strongly with it. She's already being led to do. So it's a great time to be serving right now.
Well, actually, it was because I'll have a session with Yvonne. I took on as much as I can with her energy, because as Warren said, because yesterday I was talking to Warren about perhaps once a month, meeting together, all us feminine, and really what it's all about, and moving in our goddess, in our divinity. And so I thought I just got a download basically to start a feminine group only once a month, and so that us ladies can come together and really know how to nourish the masculine and heal the masculine, and really what it means to be moving into that, and how we can heal ourselves too, because us feminine is a very, very powerful energy, as you know. And so if we learn how to really draw from that and truly manifest it for our planet, it would be great. So really that was just my instructions for now. So I'm chewing on that and how to formulate it. And with Ivonne being involved with us, I'm sure that she will come to us ladies and share some of her wisdom. So it'd be good. So that's in the planning stage.
I agree. I'm seeing a vision somehow of women's groups, Grace, a men's group eventually, a youth group sort of connecting. There's just a lot I see coming, because that's what I've been getting told, just to actually start building a real community, like a spiritual community, but it's both, it's online, it's physical, it's everything, because it's community that's going to grow us, nurture us, comfort us, grow, and give the opportunity for healing, especially what's going on right now in the world. And that's why the authorities are so keen to actually, just socially distance everyone and mask everyone up. It's just kind of a way to, to do that. So yeah, a goddess circle, as Lexi was saying and Christine saying, sound great. I agree. I think we have some amazing women in this group. And I actually will share, I appreciate everyone in this group today more than ever before, because I could feel that when Ivonne said that, she was a little bit like, wow, what a wonderful group. And I actually thought, yeah, you actually all are. You're really devoted to your spiritual growth. You're all doing so great. And we just got some amazing goddesses here, and we've got some amazing gods. And it's just great to be able to be here and to help heal each other, and then extend that healing circle even beyond us, as others will be led into the group and into the fold, and who'll come in wounded, like wounded sheep, and the healing energy of the group will raise and restore and heal people and integrate. So, and just imagine the power. And then as these people come in, they'll bring more people in, and you'll truly get an organic body growing and coming into healing, which is what the church was meant to be. It was meant to be a healing, living organism, not an organization. So I'm feeling really very, very blessed today, what I'm seeing.
Yeah. No, I'm just loving the transition in everyone. I mean, I, for one, I'm having to learn how to open my heart even more. William constantly tells me, Mum, that was good, but your heart was still a bit closed. So for me personally, I'm actively doing something about it, because it's been, it doesn't come naturally for me to really be vulnerable, because I've got a lot of masks, a lot of shields, and I have suffered a lot along my life. But again, the message today is embracing all those darkness, and it's really for myself, it's time to really connect with all those pain and suffering, and stop disassociating, because of all these years I have disassociated, and I could hide behind the mask of the transformationalist, the energy worker, and I can easily do that. I can hide behind doing the work with you guys. When I'm doing work with you guys, I can hide behind that and not connect with my own. So for me this year, that's been my intention, is to really dig deep. And it hasn't been pleasant. Every day every day I get naughty, but again, I'm just diving right into it. I'm reminding myself to be brave, to take courage, and really to be kind to myself and be compassionate with myself, because I don't expect it to happen overnight. It is a process, and I'm okay with that. And so it's wonderful to be able to work with a group that are really willing to lay the mask down and show your warts and your ugliness and everything. Because really, is there really ugliness in us? We're all beautiful, aren't we? We're all magnificent, and it's just tapping into that.
I agree, and I just want to share before we end, Grace, what you just shared there about how you have helped so many others, but tapping into your own. Song of Solomon, which is the best book in the Bible about Tantra and the tantric journey of divine cosmic union with the divine, feminine for the man, or for the man, or with the divine masculine for the woman. So this whole book is a story of divine union taking place. So when you read it, from the beginning, it starts off with the wounded feminine and ends up being the healed, transformed feminine. So like verse 6 in chapter 1, look not upon me because I'm black. In other words, because the sun, I've been hurt in this 3D world. Look not upon me because I am wounded, because I am dark. My mother's children were angry with me. In other words, my family, my siblings, were all that. They made me the keeper of the vineyard, but my own vineyard I have not kept. And I think they're the most potent words for right now, for all of us, that this is a time to make sure that you start to keep your own vineyard as well as keep the vineyards of others, and which means that it's very easy to disassociate and run around trying to fix everyone else's problems, because you really don't want to heal your own pain and connect with your own shadows and nourish yourself. So it's a good time to be nourishing yourself and connecting with others to be nourished.
Yeah, that's lovely. Nice and juicy.
It's beautiful. Well, I think we've finished, Grace. I think let everyone integrate and go. Don't forget to go away and just write up your little manifestations.
Yeah, so much to do. It's good.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you, everyone, and we'll meet you soon once again.
Indeed. See you, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.